Insanity.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I'm pleading for insanity.
To the show. My name is Frank Mank and I'm joined as always by my beautiful co-host, Joe Murray.
Hello, Frank.
And we are welcomed by not one,
but
two beautiful guests.
Hey, what's up?
We're joined by
Yo.
Over It Man.
Hey.
And he's joined by his emotional support, Ian.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show. First of all,
So happy to be here.
I fully just cut the music.
What happened to the
Just fully cut the music.
Yeah, cool.
First of all, before we get to you, welcome back, Ian.
Thank you,
It's
guys.
good to see you.
It's always fun to be on.
Like 53 episodes since you've been on.
That's crazy.
Whoa.
That's
actually crazy.
That's a real big number.
Man.
I'm just going to talk over you and not address the completely new guest.
Do you think? Do you
Oh,
No, what? That was. I think we're good. I think that was a full 60 seconds. Shit! There we go. Welcome to the show, Over It Man.
Hey.
We had two guests lined up. We had one, they cancelled. We had another one, they cancelled.
Wow.
So really, you're our third choice. But that's okay. We love you. We do.
Yeah,
do you wanna,
that's what they say.
That's what they all
Do you want to
say.
say
Then
talk
they
a little
leave.
bit about? Do you want to talk a little bit about what you do? What's your art? What do you make?
So I make a lot of different things. I mean, mostly it's just like photography with like cartoons all over it and stuff like that. But, you know, I've been branching out to more like 3D work and like, you know, stuff like that.
We can actually potentially put up a little picture of what he did for a shoot for me last night in this outfit. He green screened me onto a sunflower.
Yeah, I
Oh,
did
that's
that.
That's pretty
sick.
fire.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
looks
I did
pretty
that.
fire.
That's really
I'll
cool.
send you
Actually.
I'll send
I
you the
did
image
that.
after.
Yeah. Send that, and we'll ready. We'll go. Boop. And if you're watching the audio version of the podcast, that makes no sense to you.
See with your soul.
Yeah, you just have to feel
See it
the
with your
vibe.
soul.
You just have to feel it. No, that's sick. Do you want to talk a little bit about kind of how you got into that? Well, like what started that for you?
Honestly,
Oh, this is a good origin story.
I've
Yep.
always done I've always done like characters as a kid. So like that's always been my kind of thing. Cause like I hate backgrounds and I hate like drawing all that stuff. So I think like for 3.5 years ago, I started like drawing on photos because I was like a bit lazy with my background work. And so most of the time it's just me drawing characters and like exploring like a character's like origin or like exploring like a character through the medium of like photography and how they can interact with like photography. Yeah.
Can I just mention, all of them have massive nipples. All of them, everything he puts, he always seems to put very exuberant, large nipples on all his pieces.
So my follow-up question to that is that a conscious decision or is that just...
Oh, he knows what he's doing.
It's fully conscious decision. I feel like through everyone's like vulnerability, like with their own bodies and shit, like that addressing it is like, you know, creating like an ugly kind of character or like a type of character that you wouldn't see in a cartoon. You
see beauty in ugly.
I see it as like a way of emphasizing like a more adult side of like cartoon content.
Right. So it is legitimately a conscious decision.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Right. So we talked a little bit before we actually started rolling about like cartoons and things like that. Were the cartoons that you watched growing up like a really big influence on you now, or do you just like, are they kind of separate things? What do you feel like?
I don't know. I watch a lot of cartoons now. I watch more cartoons now than I probably did as a kid, but you know, like I can't think of any on the top of my head. You know, Thomas the Tank Engine, but that wasn't even a cartoon. So like,
Was that claymation? No.
that was Thomas the Tank Engine.
Okay. he actually just did that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was real. That was based on a real story, everyone, just so you know. But I don't know. I obviously took a lot of inspiration from like cartoons and stuff of the time, and like I went to uni for 3 years doing Bachelor of Visual Art at QT, and that helped me like kind of explore a new point of view from what I was trying to do. Like, so I put more emphasis on the background story of the character now than just like sketching out random characters and stuff like that. It all has reference to me or like something that I've come into contact with, or someone that I've come into contact with, and it's like they all connect, and I'm trying now more than ever to connect more of that content together.
Yeah.
So you've
That
connected
makes sense.
with Lightning McQueen because you did a rendition of Lightning McQueen as a real person. So can we?
I did do that. I did. He had some
Gotta see that.
fat ass nipples too.
Oh my! That is true.
Sorry, take that off the airways, man.
No, that's sick. So it's all based on people you've met or things you've seen.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, can you tell the story of that dude that you did with the cane? The dude that looked like the penguin that you saw in the city?
Oh, so there was a guy that I saw on the bus one time, and I did a picture of him. I like drew up a picture of him, and someone on my Instagram said, "Hey, I know that guy. He comes into my cafe all the time." And so he showed him, which was the weirdest experience because it was actually a person. Like, he's not just a NPC, you know. I just found out that people aren't NPCs.
Real life humans of Queen Street Mall.
Real life humans are living in society.
People do be real though.
People do be living though. Nah, but like he saw that and he put it up on his Facebook, and I was like, damn, I achieved shit. I achieved stuff today. I did good today.
So that wasn't like a weird experience for you to be like, was it someone's like you had no intention of them seeing that at any point?
No,
I
I
assume.
definitely put him on a pedestal for some weird reason, just because he was wearing a really cool outfit. It was like a steampunk type of outfit.
Right.
And I did a recent work where
Right,
I reinvented it.
So it was really clear that it was this dude.
Oh, 100%.
Right.
100%. Like, it was literally, like, point blank, like him. And then I went back onto his Facebook page later, and I did another rendition, which came out more recently. And, yeah, honestly, just the funniest shit. Like,
Yeah.
referencing things that, like, I go through and that other people go through is just, I find very funny.
Is that the
I
only?
don't take it too seriously.
Yeah. So on the whole, you don't take it too seriously.
No, but yes. I mean, I like to. I don't know. This is really weird because I do take it seriously, but at the same time, like, you can't take it too seriously, otherwise you get in your own head about it.
Yeah.
And like,
So you
that's
don't
just-
take the creation too seriously, but you take the distribution seriously. Is that kind of
Yeah,
more-
definitely.
Yeah.
That makes a lot more sense because like I like create stuff like in the moment of creating it. Like recently, I'd like lost touch with like why I actually do it, or like why I create. But like more recently, I've like got back into like you know, having a drink and like just drawing shit that I wanna draw, and that'll be in the end of the book that I'm making at the moment.
Yeah. Do you want to talk a little bit more about what that experience was like, losing touch with that creativity?
So when I went to uni, I kind of like, because it was so theoretical, I had to like explore the theory side more. And although it helped a lot, like it also pulled away from like me actually creating.
Yeah.
So I was like, kind of lost touch with like myself, or like the reason that I create, because I like, yeah, well obviously it's people get in their own head about like creation and
Yeah, so it became too,
Overthinking.
it became too like theoretical for you. So you kind of lost the
Yeah.
spark of it.
Yeah, definitely. Like you know, social media really gets in your head. You know, although I like to push off that it doesn't, like it definitely does. But more recently, it's been like kind of chill again, because it's like you don't need to look at other people and say, "Oh fuck, I can't do stuff like this." Like, just do stuff.
Yeah,
And that sounds like that's a really dumbed down version of it. It's just like, I don't know. I like to do stuff instead of just talk about it.
yeah.
You know?
So
In some
what's your
respect.
interpretation of social media then? How do you use it for your art?
I just use it as a platform to share my imagery.
Yeah.
Like, and I like to keep it in like a nice little portfolio, and then you can scroll back and see how much you've changed, because a lot of my practice is like reflecting on the way that I've changed from my past, you know, practice. So like I've always been creating characters, so you just go through and you update more and you create more characters, and then you're like, oh shit, that character can fit with that character, and then you can make them interact, and it's like so whack.
So you're like creating this little cinematic universe within.
Yeah,
your-
definitely the MCU.
Yeah.
This is my next.
The OIMCU.
The OIMCU.
Dude, that kind of sounds like
kinda
a
sick.
TAFE.
That's actually kind of
I'll be starting next semester at TAFE.
at OIMCU.
Yeah.
I won't be signing up.
I think that like, I don't know, it sounds sappy, but like creating is fun. And I think you got to keep it that way, or like find a way to live on it and keep it as something that you love, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, this is something we've talked about a lot on the show before, is like commercializing the way that you create and what you create. And there's definitely a healthy middle ground, I think, where you are creating enough that you are making a living, that you're making money off of it, and that, you know, people are consuming your work, but you're not, you haven't completely commercialized it to the point where it's just a factory. Like you're just, because I think that's something that a lot of people do, is like, particularly with drawing and art, like digital art, they end up just doing entirely commission work.
Yeah.
And then they lose that spark of what actually made them love design in the first place.
That is it.
They're in the grind set.
Yeah, and then it's all about, oh, I have like 12 commissions to do this week, but they don't end up making anything that actually gives them joy in creating.
Straight up.
That is why I got a casual job, because
He's a good guy.
now I can just like make for myself now.
Yeah.
And since I have an upcoming show, which
Plug.
not a plug, but
no,
a bit
plug
of
it.
a
No, it is a plug. Plug it.
Since I have an upcoming show on the 27th of
Roll up,
March,
roll up.
2022, from 6 till 10 p.m. You guys can come if you really want to. But no, cut that shit off. No, but if you guys seriously want to come, like, come on. And if you're listening to this past the date, don't bother.
Oh, no.
Yeah. All right. They'll come.
No, but I think that having an exhibition, although like I'm not usually like wanting to have one because I'm so digital.
Yeah.
That sounded so whack, but because I do so much digital work, I like, unless I'm projecting the works, I feel like it's not as immersive or like on a TV screen, and like I kind of find it hard to do that type of stuff sometimes.
To actually find a way to display it.
Yeah, definitely. And like since I've like signed up to do this show now, I've kind of figured out that I can actually make all my work cohesively together if I have it all in the same space. Like the style is all the same and the style's there, but I need to put it in one space so that I'm able to show not just myself, but like show people that there is definition in the style that's happening with my stuff. Like it's not all just like separate parts.
Yeah. There's like a through line through all of it.
Yeah. Like it's definitely different types of work, like different mediums sometimes, or like different concepts, but all the time there is like the same like point of reference.
You're even wearing a piece right now, bro.
Yeah, I'm definitely wearing a piece right now. You
Where
can't
can you
get
buy
this
that?
one.
Oh,
You can't buy this one.
Oh.
Unless you want it off my body. And
I think that's
then
what-
you'll have to kill me. So
Is that actually your work on the show?
yeah, this is my face. It was from one of my works in my first show. It was me, but I was like insecure and I was like taking a shit on the toilet.
Oh, yeah.
It was like a picture of me
Yeah.
taking a shit on the toilet, but not a photograph, but definitely a cool shirt, but the artwork was pretty.
Right. So you're
Yeah.
both wearing clothes that you've made.
Yeah, not to flex, but it was,
Damn.
that side of the
And what
room's
do you
looking
guys-
pretty
oh.
bland.
Generic clothes that you've
I
ever
think
worn.
we're both wearing.
actually, you know what? There's no
I'm actually
zone.
gonna head off.
I think unironically we're both wearing Vans and Ganda clothes.
No, mine's even worse. It's Vans and Connor.
I'm wearing Vans.
Connor.
The pants, I think.
don't even know what Connor is.
Really?
Whoa.
The
Is-
most generic
It's a
white boy
copy
shop.
Get
paste
help.
brand that's in every shopping centre.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So it's like,
How do you not know? What?
do I look like a man that shops at
No,
Connor?
but
Bro, I shop at Connor.
see?
What the fuck?
You didn't tell me this.
Get out of here.
Damn, all right. I guess I have to go to Connor.
Nah, they don't have
Nah, it's
good.
not great.
They don't have good clothes though. Not-
You
not
guys,
too good.
you've been making clothes though.
Been working on it.
And there's
yeah.
there's some sneaky things.
Did you see the
maybe-
massive silk screens that I've got now?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
did. I
are we
saw it
allowed
in
to
the
talk
vlog
about
yesterday.
that? I don't want
We can talk
to
about it.
unravel secrets.
No, we can talk about it.
Because you'll see it at the show. There's something funky coming.
There's some funky
There's
stuff
funky
going
coming.
on.
He's
Definitely.
also got stuff from your Evolve stuff. And let
Yeah.
me tell you, I've been using that book.
Good.
I actually have been using
Hell
that book.
yeah.
It
I-
took me a while to get there.
Yeah.
But I had a chat with a mentor and he's like, man, as an artist, you really got to write your shit down.
Yep.
Like, you really have to see it in stone because your mind's racing
Yep.
like a million miles a minute. You just have to visualize and put it down and actually do the action so you remember it.
Yeah.
The book is fire, bro. The
Hell
book is
yeah.
fire.
That's so
it's actually
good.
doing something for me. So
Good. I'm glad. I've really got to find someone to actually print them now.
yeah, true.
That'll be the next step. But it's yeah, like you said, there's so much going on that it's like, well, you
Yeah.
gotta find time for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna do all the screen printing
Sick.
stuff, and if you come to the live show, which is
Hey.
on March, actually in last week's episode, I got the date wrong for our own live show.
Oh
Did you say the
no!
7th?
I had to edit it in post to say the right thing. So it's like the sentence goes like
Redacted.
it literally
Facebook event.
I just used like the mic in my iMac, so it literally the podcast literally sounds like, and come to our show on March 11th. But it's March 11th at 6 p.m. Pull through.
Yes.
Come along.
Sick.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll see me. Maybe you won't. You never know.
You never know.
You never
I'm
know.
a ghost.
Actually, almost all of our past guests are going to be there. Which should be
Yeah.
sick. I think there's one that definitely can't come because they live in Chicago.
Yeah.
But I think there's one other that like might come but might not. So it's
Yeah, I
kinda
won't
like,
be coming.
Yeah.
I'm living in Chicago right now.
Yeah,
so-
it's actually
I'm on
it's
my
like, it's
way.
like one of those Tupac holograms. Actually. I literally don't know how to pull this back.
don't know either.
We've derailed so far this way. This
I know.
So what kind of art are you into?
whatever you're making. No, do you want my actual answer?
Yeah, serious.
In all seriousness, like if we're talking visual art, I love my abstract stuff. I really love abstract art. We've got a massive piece in my home that I got for my mum when I was like 16. That's like this massive abstract thing, and they like wrote all these words of affirmation. My mum had a massive tumor in her side when I was 16. She had it all cut out.
True.
There's this artist that she loves, and they wrote all these massive like words of affirmation underneath, and then painted it in all like her favorite colors, and then like colors that represented what was it like healing? It was like healing colors.
Yeah. True.
It's this huge like it's literally like from wall to wall like that big. You've seen it, you know how big it is. So that sort of thing I love. I'm also really getting into embroidery.
I saw that actually. Yeah, you got that little shout
I
out
spent
to
like the
Anko.
past 4 days just watching embroidery videos.
Sick.
So
Sick.
I really want to start making little patches and stuff.
Yeah, and then you'll rock up
true.
to the show in your own clothes, and then Joe will be the only one that's
Yeah,
not.
well, I've actually been bullied into doing the live show in my Star Wars hoodie. So
Actually, that's the first time I heard of
Yeah.
That's
that.
a good idea, actually.
So
Yeah, sick.
that's probably gonna happen. But yeah, that's probably like the visual art stuff that I tend to gravitate towards. Also, genuinely, I'm not saying this because it's someone that I know and that has been on the podcast. But Micah Rosticelli's art, their art is like
true.
that is exactly what I want out of art. Like it just, I love it so much. I literally sent them a message today. Asking if there was a piece that they had that's still available from like 3 years ago, 4 years
my
ago,
goodness.
Oh, hell yeah.
because I just have not stopped thinking about it for like
Have you
4
seen
years.
their stuff at shows that's like immersive?
The
on
live
app?
stuff? I have not seen it. I literally
Oh.
haven't been to one of their shows in like
Crazy,
years.
crazy,
It just
crazy,
hasn't lined up
crazy.
properly. But I promise them that I'm going to be at their next show. So
Yeah.
I
You've
I
gotta
can't.
see it.
I can't
It's
Yeah,
like-
you
now.
committed now.
I've committed
Yeah.
now. But yeah, that's usually what I gravitate to. Joe
Yeah.
likes audio.
Audio.
I love audio.
No.
I actually,
yeah.
Well, I've recently gotten into like anything that is like I don't understand the meaning when I look at it. I really enjoy someone having to tell me, and then me like unraveling this whole story behind this art. If we're talking about visual art, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, it's true.
So I don't know what like genre that is, but but yeah,
It's the cool genre.
cool genre. I guess kind of. Yeah, I don't know.
That's lit. Hell yeah.
Those are acceptable answers.
No, but I did have another question. I'm interviewing you now.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Flip it. We've had like almost all of our
Are there
guests do
guests
this.
on your live stream? On your live?
on the live show?
Yeah, give us more information about your live show.
Well,
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Just so the viewers know.
There will
we
be
not tell?
guests. They don't know that they're going to be guests yet.
Oh,
We're
insane.
We're just going to pull people from who's there, basically.
Oh, true.
So we'll kind of see how it goes.
do you want to cut this from the airwaves? Because that sounds like a crazy idea.
No, we
like-
can keep it.
No.
Like this is going to come out like
teasers.
this comes out like
sick,
4 days
sick.
before the live show.
So people should be
Yeah.
Whoever
nervous when they're
knows,
rocking up.
whoever
Yes.
knows when they're coming, you better watch
you better
out.
be prepared.
You better watch out.
No, but yeah, it's going to be very loose. It's like a regular show, like it's nothing too planned. We're not going to sit
That was a
there
good
and like
cartoon.
read from. Sorry,
That was a good cartoon. The regular show. Sorry.
that was a really
Yeah.
good cartoon.
That was a good
I actually
cartoon.
love that. I do want to talk about cartoons,
Like
in,
Rick and Morty?
in a second. But yeah, no, it's very loose. I'm going to just glide past that.
That's fine.
No, it's going to be a really loose show, very casual.
Yeah,
It should be really good fun. We're super stoked for it.
Yeah.
We're doing after this. We're shooting a bunch of headshots and like photos and stuff for promo.
For sure.
And then we have to actually plan out a bunch more stuff around the show because we've got plans for things that happen during the after party and things like that as well.
Yeah.
So it's not the show is not just the recorded live show like it is. It's also going to
whole
be like
event.
an event.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
Around the show.
Wow,
So,
that's bigger than I thought it was going to be.
yeah, we're really trying to make it like this isn't the only time we're going to do it. We want to make this a more regular thing, basically.
Oh, the regular show.
Yeah, the regular show. That's a big show.
That's a
The
good
regular
show
Have you
too.
seen
The
that?
regular Froe. Yeah.
We're thinking.
Yeah,
We're on
so-
a telekinetic path, we talk to each other.
Beep boop. I'm telekinetic.
No, let's talk about cartoons. Let's talk
Yeah.
about like actual things. What are you watching at the moment? I know it's a really
Honestly,
deep question.
No, recently I haven't been watching like much, but I have been watching, like my regular shows, like
The regular show.
the regular show. nah. What? I don't even know what I've been watching,
What's
man.
that
I'm
one
lost.
on the Adult
I'm lost
Swim?
in trans.
That like muck around.
Oh, hello. Wait.
Hello Kitty.
No, that shit's lit though. Far out. No, good
Yeah.
friends. Fuck. Smiling friends.
Yeah, with
Michael
the,
Cusack.
Is that guy?
Yeah. I'm going to blow my brains out.
Yeah, I haven't actually watched it. It's on my list.
Nah, for sure. It's a good little mini series.
All right, I'll watch
Should
it.
definitely watch it.
Bet.
I would recommend that. Rick and Morty's okay.
The Australian.
Season
Rick and
one
Morty.
of
It's
Rick and
definitely
Morty.
died off.
Season 1
Yeah.
of Rick and Morty, top tier.
Yeah, for sure. And
Genuinely.
they're like hype around it was like
Yeah.
good until season 4.
I mean, it's like The Simpsons. Like it's good to a point, and then it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Simpsons up to season 13, banging.
They get
After
too
that,
comfortable. They get too comfortable.
Is this gonna, is this going to
Uh-oh.
become
No,
Simpsons
I guess
discourse now?
it's a lot with a lot of shows. Like there's
Yeah.
that time where you should stop
Oh, true.
Yeah.
because
True. Suits.
but they're
Not a
only
cartoon,
doing it
but-
for money. Like and obviously to like tell the story more, but like I feel like it's a lot about like this series is making a lot of money, so
Yeah.
we should continue it because that sounds like the logistical thing to do.
Yeah, because that makes sense.
Yeah.
Money wise, yeah.
And then the fans are like, fuck yeah. And then it gets to like they show the season and then that's like, oh wow, that was pretty flat.
Actually, I wanted to ask you, kind of on while we're talking about money, because you've done the reverse of what most artists want to do. You went from working full time as an artist and then going back to a casual job.
True.
Yeah. Was that a difficult decision for you? Was that something that like it took a lot of thinking, or was it kind of like what was your thought process behind that? Because I don't think I've met anyone personally that has done that.
Nah, I don't know. I was making enough to live off for the time being before like getting opportunities for bigger jobs. But I don't know. I hadn't really had a job until I was like 18. And I've only been able to keep a job for a month.
Right.
So
But wait, was that because you've been fired from jobs or because you've quit?
No, I quit because I was too old and they didn't want to give me hours anymore. So
Right.
it was like, oh, well, okay.
Dude, you gotta
but
tell them.
my job now is okay.
You got to tell them about your old job. What happened?
What old job?
You ended up as
What?
Well,
you were the waiter.
Oh, no.
No,
I
you
don't want to talk about that.
Oh,
Okay, we'll skip past that.
No, but honestly, like now that I'm working like a job a couple of days a week, like it kind of helps me like just explore my own stuff because I'm not relying on other people. Even though it's like not a lot of money and I could be making that money like frequently, I just like I like to have time for my own stuff.
Yeah.
And I just felt like it was time to explore my own practice rather than exploring other people's practices, because then who am I as an artist if I'm not exploring my own identity,
Yeah.
you know? And even though like I would put my identity into other people's visual identities, like I felt different. I didn't feel like myself much anymore.
Because you were working on other people's art.
Because
more,
I was
right?
other people, you know.
Yeah.
He
I
did a
felt
lot.
like it was,
Yeah, I know.
and you know, you just have someone random hit you up. They're like, "Oh yeah, I want a logo," and it's like, "Cool." And then you do the logo, and then it's done. And then you've lost so many hours, and like you still feel nothing.
Yeah. That was intense.
Yeah, wow.
I don't know,
But yeah.
you just like
I get what you mean.
you're not yourself when you're
Yeah.
angry.
Yeah.
Kill hungry, thirsty, dead.
Yeah.
Eat a Snickers, man.
No, but I'm gonna pivot very slightly.
Have a Kit Kat.
Have a Kit Kat. No, because I find you a very interesting man, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Yeah, go.
Because I haven't known you that long. We met.
We've met 3 times.
We met, yeah, in person 3 times.
Once in the
Maybe
bar.
four.
I saw you somewhere.
I've seen you around. No, but I find it really interesting because you give off this very calm, like, I don't know, your vibe is very different, and then you start talking about work and you start talking about art, and then it's like something switches in your head.
Yeah,
And
that's the art school, man.
No, but it's not. It's really interesting. I understand that, like, that's what it, like, your justification for it. But like,
Art school.
but
I love
no,
that.
but it is really fascinating because you give off this, like, I don't want to say stoner vibe, but it is like, it's that kind of like,
Okay.
You play it down. I feel like you play yourself down very, very well, and then
Well, I mean, a lot of artists kind of play themselves down a bit, but like when it comes to like being on social media and like
Yeah.
promoting yourself, like you have to play your part.
Yeah.
Like I'm playing a part half the time.
yeah,
I'm not saying that part is not like myself.
it's not untrue. Yeah,
It's definitely myself, but I need to play it up to be able to like, you know, show my identity that I
Yeah.
want to have, like not just online, but like as an artist, you know,
Yeah.
like my shit's playful, like my
Yeah.
work is playful, but I just don't want to give off that playfulness when I'm in person. I
Yeah.
want to contrast it completely.
Yeah.
And now that I'm saying it, like people could be like, oh yeah, maybe that makes sense, but like it's definitely like, I don't know. I've found that I want to work that way.
Yeah. No, but I just say it because it's really interesting. Because in the last half hour, like we'll have one conversation where it's like that half of you, and then we'll have another conversation. It's like the artist side of you, and I just
true.
find it so interesting. Like I've just been watching you talk,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's like you switch between them.
Are you bipolar?
No, I think it all connects, but
Yeah.
I think that
I'm not saying they're different people. Like they're very clearly you.
I'm a different person.
Have you ever seen Two-Face?
When I put on the mask.
You want to know how I got these scars? Art school. That's insanity.
Nah, he is incredibly playful.
I
And
love to paint.
before I even met him, he would post stuff on his like Instagram stories, and it'd be him like walking around talking, but he'd talk in an American accent. And so before I even met him, I was like, oh, there's this like American dude that's coming around Brisbane that does these cool characters and stuff. And then I met him and he started talking to me. I was like, hold on, brother, aren't you American, man? He's like, nah, man, nah, definitely not.
I just think it's funny.
That's not cool, man. It's really not cool.
Maybe you should go back to Chicago then.
No, I like to. More recently, I've been wanting to put like improv stuff in my work, like more improvisation stuff. Sorry, that word didn't make sense. but More
Improvisation.
improvisation.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I want to put more improvised stuff into my work because like, I think that like thinking of stuff off the dome and then like going into it like spending a whole day on it. Like I've been spending like a whole day. Like I made an ad yesterday based on a voice memo that I recorded last night, and it was like this ad for this Rememberatron. So it's like this machine that you go through that allows you to remember a thought, and then you just become like mind blown, like who is God or some shit like that. Like you go in and you think about it, and then you come out and your eyes are fucking blown up, and you're like, holy shit, who's God? I know who God is. Sorry for all the people with the headphones on. I don't know how loud this is going to be. No. That I definitely like improv in my work, and like I feel like it's such a playful thing. Like it goes hand in hand with like kind of the stuff that I do already.
Yeah.
But I again want to just make it clear that I want to platform it all and make that portfolio that looks like just works together.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, honestly, back to you guys. No, for sure. But like, it's a love-hate relationship, man,
Yeah.
between like what I want to do and like what I'm doing right now.
What are you working towards then? What do you want? Like, say 5 years from now, do you have a plan of where you want to be?
Everyone says they want to be big, but I just want to make my stuff and kind of be happy, you know? And like, if I get big, that's cool. But like, if I'm not happy, like, what the heck, bro?
Yeah.
What the heck and frick? Like, get help, honestly. Nah, but...
No, you're totally right. Yeah.
And it sounds cheesy, but it's like, if you actually aren't happy and you get to a point where you're like, oh shit, what the hell am I even doing? Then it's not even worth it, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just an identity crisis, man, honestly.
Yeah.
I've had maybe one or two in my lifetime, you know?
Yeah. I think that's something that we've talked about a lot as well.
Yeah.
Just in general on the show is like not losing that part of yourself, like trying to keep it interesting and trying to keep engaged with it. And we've talked about that a lot as well in terms of the podcast itself. Like, you know, we're putting ourselves out there as
Definitely.
like creators and as, you know, people in our field. And it's like, okay, well, we've had that conversation. Like what does happen if we get really big all of a sudden, like overnight something clicks? Like what does that look like? What do we do? Is that something that we want? Like how does that affect our day-to-day lives?
True.
And it's like,
I wouldn't think about that situation though. I think like...
no, but you have. That's the thing. Subconsciously you have, because the conclusion that you've come to is
True.
that it's not worth it if you're not happy doing that.
True.
Whereas we've done that consciously and gone, well, as long as we're enjoying it and we're having fun making it, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like whatever.
No, you're
like
right.
if we cared about making it big, we wouldn't still be making the show. We would have stopped a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
True.
Like it's a grind, and it is, and like that's with all art. And it's not always going to be, you know, you're not always going to make something and have a million people be looking at it. In fact, most people won't.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you got to be super conscious of why you're creating things.
Yeah,
And it's
purpose.
also totally fine to be like, I want to make things because I want people to see them.
Yeah.
That's a fine goal.
True.
But you got to enjoy that process. Otherwise, it's not worth making. Like,
You're right.
well, we don't make the podcast. Like, obviously, we make the podcast because we love making it. Like, obviously, we wouldn't do it otherwise. But there is obviously a goal of we want people to listen to it. We want to impact people's lives with the conversations that we have with other artists, and share our personal journey growing as creatives over our early career. That's like our goal with the show as a whole. So I think there's a difference between wanting to show yourself as an artist and have it be seen, and wanting to provide value. And that's something we've been talking about a lot, is providing value to people.
Yeah.
And I think people can see that when they look at your work, whether it's like very self-focused, like, oh, you're clearly just making stuff just for you, which is fine if that makes you happy.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off.
No, it's fine.
Like, I find that I find it beneficial for myself to make stuff that revolves around me. That sounds whack, but like, it's still like comes off as something like kind of fun to look at.
Yeah.
For people.
No,
but honestly, I don't know what people are thinking about, like the works that I make or like stuff like that. It's just like the process of actually making it is definitely the part that most impacts me.
Yep.
And like explaining my work is something that I really like to do, because no one is going to get it.
Yeah.
Like you'll see an image. It's not an abstract image. You can still see it, but I think that them not knowing like the backstory, it's like what's it called? Like an inside joke. Like all that stuff is like an inside joke for me and for the people that I know that have been through the experiences with me. So I feel like it is very exclusive.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like...
Yeah, but that's exactly what I'm saying. That's the value that you provide. It's because people look at it and they fill in their own story. And then you can tell them the story, but you're still providing value in that way.
For sure.
Yeah.
No, I like that though. I like that you don't know.
Yeah.
Unless it's really broad and really in your face, like it says, you suck, or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And then you know you suck.
Yeah. You feel that in your core.
You feel that in your core. It's like, it says you suck on the wall. And it's like, what the hell?
I was like,
Do I suck?
Damn, I guess I
Then
suck.
you look at yourself and you go, do I suck? Papa, do I suck? No, son. No, son. No, anyway. Let's cut that off. That was a shit bit, but you know. No.
I really do like just letting you keep going.
Yeah. I will like do a bit if I think that it'll work, but
Yeah.
yeah. I like to be funny with the work, you know. It's fun.
Yeah.
Playful.
Yeah, very playful. But anyway, you know, let's just have normal conversation.
Yeah, we're really good at that.
Yeah, it's super normal.
So what'd you guys do this week?
I've been learning about screen printing actually.
Nah, serious.
No, literally, I've been learning about screen printing.
So
That's it.
what have you learnt? Explain to the
I've
crowd.
learnt-
Zach knows what to do, so he'll critique you here.
Oh.
Oh god.
I
Well,
was a screen printer.
okay, this is the part that I'm up to, is that I have to get rid of the emulsion that's currently on the screens.
Oh yeah, just get emulsion removal.
And that's what I bought. So
Hell yeah.
that's a A+ for little Frankie over here.
Hell yeah.
No,
Depends
it's-
how old it is will be like how it'll wash out, I guess.
yeah.
But I don't really know too much about it.
Yeah, look, we'll see how we go. That's pretty much it though. And I've been learning how to embroider. It's been a very exciting week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Joe?
Oh, what have I been doing? Look, nothing exciting. Just working.
No, that's a total lie. Joe's been working really hard on building the social media
true.
brand
Actually, I
image
have
of the
been
show.
doing
Yeah.
Been trying
nice.
to
Okay.
work on the social media branding, getting out different bits of content,
Sick.
and try and focus on where we can, I don't know, where most people will see it.
Yeah,
So,
straight up. That's
been a bit
something
of fun.
I struggle with my brand, to be consistent. Because I don't hate social media, but like, it seems to sometimes you go on there to do something, and the next thing you know, you're looking at some crazy stuff. You're like, oh, why am I looking at like somebody putting socks on and doing this weerd shit? Like, what the fuck is
Is that
this?
where you end up?
Well,
You end up looking at people putting socks on?
no, I prefer to watch them
socks
take them off.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, then you realize it's like
Get help.
No, but like you can definitely easily get trapped in, like, you have to stay super focused, and self-control is like super important when you're doing that kind of stuff, because it's so easy to just let the mind wander, and then you end up somewhere where you're
Looking at
not
people taking their socks off.
Yeah, I'm looking at their feet, not the sock. No,
That's not funny, man. That's not a joke. Wait, I do have a serious question.
Okay.
I'm pulling from what you said before. Working on multiple things at once, what do you think about multitasking within, making something and moving on to someone else and then doing that other thing and then moving on to someone else? What do you think of multitasking?
I mean, that's my life, man. Like,
in a creative sense, though, what I'm
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about.
yeah, that's-
Not from a...
no, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Regular
Like,
daily.
I work on, probably 6 things at
Yeah.
a time. Like, I work on the podcast, then I work on my daily movies. I'm currently working on a feature documentary, a short documentary. I do all my like little hobby art stuff on the side, like the screen printing and the embroidery, like anything that's not related to film that kind of falls into that category. And then I do a little bit of design work here and there. So it's like I'm constantly multitasking, and I love doing it.
I think that's like one of the best ways to go about multitasking though. When you've got different projects that have different like sizes. So
Yeah.
you're doing your daily movies, which are one a day.
Yeah.
And then the podcast is one a week. And then the
Feature is one a year.
yeah. So I think that's probably the best way to go about.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but my question was,
Sorry.
What do you think about it?
what do you think about the
In-
idea of multitasking?
In what way?
In a creative sense, like and actually doing the tasks
Like, do you
in set. I'm not asking whether you do it. I'm asking what you think of the process
Like,
of
do you think
multitasking.
it's-
Like, what if you were working on one thing at once? That would be a different story. But like, what do you think of your ideal of multitasking?
Like, do I feel like it's effective in general, or
Yeah.
like- I mean, I think so. I think to a certain point, if you focus on just one thing constantly, you're gonna overthink it, and you're not gonna
Yeah.
like you'll think of it. What's what I'm looking for? Like practically, like it'll start becoming like a. I don't know. If you think about something constantly, I feel like you start coming up with ideas and things that aren't creative anymore. Like you go past the creative step and you start getting into the like.
Forceful.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
becomes
yeah.
really forced. And I think having the ability to switch between projects and be like, oh, well, I've run out of juices for this one, so I'll go over to the next one,
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think it's very person to person, though. I think some people really benefit creatively from multitasking, and I think some people really don't. Like, I definitely know some people that can only work on one project at once because it just occupies their whole brain.
Yeah.
But then when they get that feeling of like they've run out of creative juices, they go for a walk or whatever. Like they don't go work on a different project.
I think
Yeah,
that's
just
kinda
taking
how
breaks.
I operate. I would say.
Yeah.
Because recently with like the fashion stuff, like I've just been stuck into doing this fit, and it's taken me like 4 or 5 days, but like it's pretty close to ready.
Yeah.
And that's all I've been doing. I've been coming in here every day to the warehouse and just pumping. When I get bored, I'll open the iPad, I'll do up another design, like
Yeah.
everything's always designed for me recently. But yeah, it's interesting how like you guys operate and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like you're more like that in general,
What do you mean?
in like the singular focus.
Yeah, definitely. My work's a lot more like, well, it's a lot more deadline based.
Yeah,
So really,
true.
whatever has the hardest deadline comes first.
Yeah.
And then,
No, that makes sense.
yeah, for me, it's more like I'll write a list and then tick it off. I don't really, I don't really find that doesn't work for me. Multitasking, and it can get pretty overwhelming.
True.
If I take a break from a project and work on something else, then I'll often actually just forget about that first one, and then it'll like knock on, and I'll end up not doing like 3 or 4 projects until I kind of pull myself back, and it's like, okay, I have to finish this or whatever. So yeah, I've found what works best for me is not multitasking really, and trying to just tick off one at a time.
True.
Yeah, unless it's some massive project like feature thing. Not that I'm going to make a feature film, but
Well, not yet. We don't want to limit ourselves.
I'm not a filmmaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still thinking about different big projects I can do, but yeah, no, that.
What about you? What are your thoughts?
Oh, I would say that like multitasking is definitely how it works, because like when you're thinking of like one idea, you've got it in your head. I mean, recently in the past couple of days, I've been working on specific projects, like specific adverts for specific like memories or different voice memos that I have. So in that, it's it's specifically like, project based.
Yeah.
But, every now and then, like, you get bored, so you just, like, you go and you sketch, like, a sketch page, and then you, like, come back, and then you're refreshed, and then you got, like, new ideas, and I think that while sometimes I'm working on stuff, I'll, like, be working on a video, and I'll instantly think of another idea, so I, like, turn the voice memo off. Voice memo, the best shit. I hate writing. But voice memos are very good, especially if you're trying to, like, capture your own emotion through, like, through the ideas. So you're like, oh shit, this is how I actually was thinking, or like just remembering, having more keys to remember specific, like, I don't know, ideas.
Yeah.
So like I could have been feeling like this one day about this project, and then I would look back at like the voice memo and it's like, oh, okay, this is how I was actually thinking.
Yeah. You can kind of tap back into the emotion of that moment and
Yeah,
not just
yeah,
the, like,
for sure.
the written thought.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. But also recently with like advertisement stuff, it's more like, would you like to buy this product? Or stuff like that. So it's just like infomercial stuff.
Yeah.
But it still does help to have like voice memos to be able to like get you back on track, or like be able to track what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I think that multitasking is very effective.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it works for a certain type of brain though.
Yes.
Like, I think creatively we have a very similar brain, but they have like Ian and Joe have a very similar creative brain.
Why are you looking away from me, man?
Get help. I'm telling you, I'm trying.
I'm doing my best.
Papa, I need some help. Papa, please, I need some help.
No, I think that's sort of like extending from this. One of the biggest creative, like, revolutionary thoughts I had is that, like, not everyone thinks the same. So you can't just go to, what does Gary V do? Like, what does he do? I'll just copy that. I'll do cold showers at 6 a.m. Like, that doesn't work for everyone,
Yeah.
Insane.
Well, that's like
Cold
that's
showers at 6 in the morning? Are you kidding?
yeah.
I do them at 4.
I'm awake. I'm ready. I don't sleep. I'm insane.
It's a terrifyingly good impression.
I'm the Joker, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby.
No, I think that's like something super important. Like, not everyone does the same things, and you need to form your own routines.
Yes.
Like, there could be some artists that are super, super dedicated and creative and focused, and they're waking up at midday.
Yeah.
Like,
But that's exactly what I said that like maybe 2 or 3 episodes ago, because Joe asked me, do you recommend that filmmakers make a movie every day? I was like, no, absolutely not. But if you're the type of person, like if you feel like you have a similar way of creating to me, absolutely do it. But it takes that like I am not shy about the fact that I have a really addictive personality, and like I'm very obsessive, and so that's why that works for me, because it's like the second I get into that habit, like that's it. Like it just keeps rolling and it snowballs.
And you have energy. You have some positive energy every day, bro. Every day you wake up.
Yeah, I try.
No, we all feel it.
I wake up and I feel positive.
I feel so happy. I love life. Oh my gosh. Life is so great. 6 a.m. showers. I love that shit.
Fuck. No, sorry.
No, but I like, and I think that's something that, like, exactly what you said. You have to understand that people create differently and people think differently, and art different. People, it's hard to realize that other people are different because you only understand the way that you think and the way that you operate.
No, 100%.
And then when you see all these, like, there's this whole resurgence, I think, or insurgence, I guess, of like creator hustlers.
I was going to say, was that a part of the Divergent series or something?
I think it actually was.
Oh, wait, that's not funny now.
Insurgent definitely was.
Yeah. That's not funny now.
I take it back.
No, I'm the
Joke
king of
redacted.
comedy.
No, but there's this whole thing of like people going into this like creator hustle mindset, and touting it like it's something that every single person should work towards. It's exactly what you were saying with Gary Vee. Like, that method works for a very small percentage of people. And for those people, it's fantastic and it'll change their lives. But for other people, it's going to absolutely destroy their lives because they're going to fall apart and they're going to be burnt out in 3 weeks. Like, and it's that realization, that understanding that people work very differently and operate very differently.
No, straight up. I've been watching, like, sometimes every now and again I'll tune into like a little Twitch stream while they're playing their video games.
Yeah.
And I'll watch like the streamers because I've always wanted to like sort of be an entertainer and play video games because, you know, that sounds like a young kid's dream back in the day. But observing like their lifestyle, they'll be sitting there at their computer all day. And then they'll turn their camera to the floor and it's like McDonald's like bags, like 12 there, 8 cups of coffee, you know, like there's mold on the pizza. It's disgusting. Yeah. And I'm like, how do you live in that? Like, have you even showered today? You know, like, but that process works for them and they're willing to sacrifice a bit of cleanliness if that's what they want to do. To be the best, you know, streamer or whatever that be.
Yeah.
So
I was watching an interview today with the guy that became like the #1 streamer late last year. And he was saying that he had this roommate and his roommate was the first guy that he ever hired. Because his roommate came into his room one time and had like a 2-slide PowerPoint. Cause he was already like like his job was streaming. He was making 15 grand a month or something at that point. Which is insane.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But yeah, he was streaming all the time, and his friend came in with a PowerPoint and was like, "You need to sort out your work-life balance. I'll do it for you if you pay me." And it's like, oh, all right, yeah. And so it's like, you know, when you're constantly, and with streaming specifically, when you're constantly doing that, you like max min your life.
Yeah.
You're like, what do I physically need to get through my day?
Yeah.
To stream as much as possible.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, I don't need to do laundry.
No.
Like, no one can smell me on stream, so it doesn't matter.
Straight up.
Smell-o-vision.
Yeah, exactly. Smell-o-vision doesn't exist yet, actually. Don't know if you know that, but...
Wonker bars.
But yeah, so it's like, I think it's that whole mindset.
Yeah.
And I think
100%.
a lot of creatives have that in general, where it's like, what can I get rid of to optimize how much I'm making?
No, and I feel that because in my area upstairs, like near my desk, I've got a storage space and it's filled with vinyl and like all kinds of my materials and shoes that I'm going to be painting in the future.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful because it's like, oh, I've got so much material there. But sometimes it's a burden to me where I look at it and I'm like, oh, I've got so much work to do. This place is a mess, you know, like sometimes it's best to just have a clean, simple environment and you're thinking about the least amount of things just to get the most amount done.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
yeah, for sure. Like, and that's exactly what I did very recently. I got rid of everything on my desk. I've like almost the only stuff I have on my desk is like a couple lenses on the side, like all the ones that I use most regularly, and then I have like a stack of 3 art books, like to the left, and a pot plant. That's it.
Yeah.
Other than like my monitors and stuff, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's something that every creative kind of has to work through and work towards, is figuring out how does my brain operate. What do I need to create as effectively as possible? Yeah. And what are the things that are going to come back and bite me in the ass? Like, what are the things that are going to make my life way more difficult to create? And I think for like some people that can be like vices outside of creating. Yeah. For some people that can be, you know, as simple as I play too many video games. Like, I need to cut back on that. My problem was that
Why are you looking at me?
that was a pointed look.
I deleted Fortnite, all right?
Me love Fortnite.
No, but that was a legit problem that I had because I played video games on my computer. But my computer was also my work computer. So I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna delete every video game on my computer, and I got like a PlayStation for like $200. And I was like, that's like the only way that I can play video games now is if I leave my workstation and I go to the living room and play video games. Like they're separated.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah. That's not what he did though. He just deleted the game and said, I'm not playing any more games ever again. That's how it sounded.
Yeah, because I work a little bit differently.
Yeah, we all be working differently.
Now
I'm grasping it, you know.
I'm trying to get help, all right?
He's doing his best.
Try harder.
Oh man. We've got like probably 5-10 minutes left, so we're gonna kind of pull it in at the end here. But we always ask two. I'm not gonna ask you because you've already been asked these questions. But we always ask two questions at the end of every episode to our guest. Joe, do you want to ask the first one?
Sure. I can always only remember
You can always
one,
only
so
remember one.
I just asked that one.
You guys are making me nervous. Can you just please ask me the question?
Who was the last man that you kidnapped?
Riley?
And where's the body?
No, it's not that serious. Is there anything in the show that you wish you could have talked about, or something you wish we'd brought up, or a story you just want to tell? Is there anything that we might have mentioned or we might have missed that you'd like to share?
I don't know. Maybe I'll talk about it next time. But like, how artists influence other artists
We can talk about that right now.
right now.
Yeah.
Right now.
Like how people in your immediate area, like we're obviously in a warehouse with a bunch of different.
What?
We're in a warehouse.
No, obviously in a warehouse with a bunch of different artists, and so it's like, what artists influence you more, and what artists are more like close to your art form. Does that make sense?
Not really. Try again.
Like, what about the artists here help you? I
Right,
guess?
so-
inform you more. I guess?
What about the artists that we share this space
Influence
with
you.
inspires and influences us?
That's
There we go.
literally.
I'll get it next time.
Is that a question or a statement?
Yeah, it's a question.
I think immediately, like, since I'm definitely in this space more than you are. I'm talking to Joe more than Joe is.
Wait, who's
I'm
Joe?
just bagging at these two
Who's
boys.
Joe?
Who's
Joe?
Joe?
Oh, come on.
Don't.
I'm sorry.
Walked into that one.
I'm so sorry. No, but like I
That was
think
insane.
I think apologizing to them.
Fuck.
no, specifically, I think the way that I've been influenced is to try other art forms a lot more. Because I've like exclusively been photo and film for years. I've never even thought about trying anything else. And then within like 2 months of being here, I'm like, yeah, you know what? Let's try screen printing and let's do like embroidery and let's learn how to, make clothes and sew and do this and that. It's like I always knew that those options were there, but my physical understanding of how to do them and how to make them has changed. It feels more accessible is what I'm trying to say.
Knowledge.
Knowledge.
Sharing knowledge.
I think that people can learn a lot from the people here. Like, we're all willing to like teach
Yeah.
people. I mean, I am like, I've been teaching a few people how to use like Blender or like getting into like 3D design and stuff like that. But, I don't know. This space just makes people feel open.
Yeah.
Or like want to learn more.
No, I totally agree.
It's just a creative space, man.
just,
Honestly,
like, really
should have just said that to start with.
Do you have
That's-
anything you want to add to it?
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly how it's impacted me. Is like, I didn't have a whole lot of people, or there wasn't a whole lot of people I knew that were like smaller artists or emerging artists.
You knew big artists before this?
Well,
Like really
the
big ones?
mainstream.
Did you
Actually,
know
my
Picasso?
uncle's Ed Sheeran.
Did you know Picasso?
No,
I
no.
heard of this guy named Pablo.
I just mean like I only knew a handful of artists, really. And so
sure.
coming here just kind of opened my eyes to that there's actually so much going on
For
around the
sure.
place. And
I think once you like, jack into that like
Plug-in.
matrix of I don't know what I'm trying to say. This is like once
Just don't say the other one.
once you're in like that area of artists in your city, in any city, like there's always that kind of like underbelly of small artists. I had no idea the amount of shows that went on. Like every weekend there's stuff happening.
Yeah.
No idea until I was like in that area and I saw all these people promoting their shows. And it's like, oh, that's definitely one of the really big ones that's hit me, I think.
Yeah, the Over It Men show is going to be massive.
I'm so stoked for that,
fucking-
actually. That's going to be so fun.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Other guy.
All right. Well, I've got one last question before we finish up.
For sure.
Do you have any advice, anything you want to share with someone who wants to get started in, illustration, design, 3D modeling, your art practice? What would you say to them, either as someone that is about to start or someone who has just started?
Is this thing on?
Yes.
Do it because it makes you happy, not because you feel obliged.
Yeah.
That's it.
Beautiful.
No, I think that it is important to like, it's so cliche, but I think it's really important to follow the passion because if you don't, you're just going to lose sight of what you actually like.
Yeah.
So.
And then you'll need to get help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you'll end up like me. Psycho.
Psycho. I'm the Joker.
I'm insane.
I'm the Joker. Okay, we need to stop.
This needs to stop.
Plug your socials. Plug your stuff.
Over it _man. Oh, no. Over _ man dot png
On
Instagram.
there we go. Okay, cool. Yeah. So, do you want to plug anything else? Do you want to plug the show?
Yeah, I have a show on the 27th of March and from 6 to 10 p.m. Be there at Vent Space or B Square in Albion,
Beautiful. That'll do.
11 Bimble Street. Be there or be square.
Beautiful. All right. Well, we have a tradition at the end of our shows
we have to
with our
sing?
guests. Yeah, you're gonna actually sing the entirety of
Stand
Ave
to.
Maria.
I've done that. I've done that drunk in a karaoke one time a cappella, but that's a story for another song.
I don't think there's much story to that. You sang Ave Maria drunk in a karaoke.
I've got a video of it.
No, our tradition is we have an outro song. At the end of every show, Joe and I say bye, 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 and then we press the button. When we have guests, we go bye, bye. The guest says bye, and then they get to press the button. It's like a little special moment. It's this one. But because there's 4 of us, what we're going to do is we're going to go bye, bye. Ian's going to say bye, then you're going to say bye, and then you can press the button. All right?
Yeah.
Okay, but I have to. It's this one. It's this purple button.
Yep.
So I have to do the
pink.
outro. Oh, sorry, pink, whatever. I have to do the outro, and then you can press the button. All right, you ready? All right. Thank you so much for listening to or watching this episode of the Froe Show. Come to the live show next week. Yeah. It is the 11th of March at 6 p.m. 11 Bimble Street, Brisbane. We hope to see you there.
The 100th episode.
The next episode will be the live episode. So I'm super stoked. We're super stoked for that. It's going to be so much fun. Anyway, thank you so much, and we'll see you next week. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. That was stunning.
Yeah.
Well done.
Good shit.
You have fun?
Yeah, it was actually pretty fun.
I didn't mean to jack the steez as well. Sorry
Jack the
if I
steez.
stole you.
No, that's chill.